We should be actually anticipating in a way that third wave will come. The question.
Prime Minister to launch the skill training program today at 11 a.m. for the Corona warriors. The program will aim at upgrading and reskilling for the Corona warriors. India's COVID vaccination drive remains steady. Cumulative vaccine coverage exceeds 26.89 crore, including 32 lakh vaccine doses administered yesterday. More than 5 crore vaccine doses administered in the age group of 18 to 44 years so far. The COVID situation across the country remains steady. There is a decline in the COVID cases across the country for the 71st consecutive day. In Iran, voting for 13 presidential elections underway amidst tensions with the West over nuclear deal. Ayatollah Saeed Ibrahim Raisi, judiciary chief, is the front runner to succeed Hassan Rouhani in the presidential race. India to face New Zealand in the inaugural ICC World Test Championship in the final in Southampton today. DD Sports want to air the match on DD Free Dish DTH from 3 p.m. DD Free Dish users can also listen to live radio cricket commentary through All India Radio. World number 2 Naomi Osaka withdraws from this year's Wimbledon Championships for personal reasons, likely to be ready in time for the Tokyo Olympics. Good morning, you're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting this edition of the news this hour. Top story first, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be launching a crash course program for the frontline workers across the country today. And this will be done across 111 training centers in 26 states. Also, the program aims to upskill and reskill over 1 lakh COVID warriors across the country. And this training will be imparted to the COVID warriors through customized job roles, that is home care support, medical equipment support, and lots more. We get 2 details in this report.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, a great need was felt for trained personnel supporting doctors and nurses. To help in prevention of pandemic, a significant increase was seen in the demand for such skilled frontline workers in hospitals across the country.
हमारे डॉक्टर्स, हमारे हेल्थ वर्कर्स के इतने बड़ी परिश्रम से ही इस दबाव को संभालना संभव हुआ है.
In view of this demand, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch customized crash course program for COVID-19 frontline workers on Friday, which will include 111 training centers spread over 26 states. The program aims to skill and upskill over 1 lakh COVID warriors across the country. Training will be imparted to COVID warriors in 6 customized job roles, namely home care support, basic care support, advanced care support, emergency care support, sample collection support, and medical equipment support. The program has been designed as a special project under the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3.0 with a total financial outlay of Rs 276 crores. It will create skilled non-medical healthcare workers to fill the present and future needs of manpower in the health sector.
हम सब ने मिलकर उच्च स्तरीय चिकित्सा क्षेत्र के लोगों के परामर्श से एक 6 प्रकार के कस्टमाइज क्रैश कोर्स तैयार किए, जो क्रैश कोर्स में 6 प्रकार के सहायकों को हम शॉर्ट टर्म ट्रेनिंग देंगे और उस ट्रेनिंग में हम सब उन्हें बाद में ऑन द जॉब ट्रेनिंग में भी उनको विभिन्न अस्पतालों में डिप्यूट करेंगे. और उस दौरान उन्हें प्रोत्साहन के लिए स्टाइपेंड भी देंगे, उनके फूडिंग लॉजिंग की भी चिंता करेंगे।
Keeping in view the current and future needs of the country, lakhs of people are already getting trained in different skills under the skill development campaign of the central government. Jobs are also being provided to skilled workers after training. In the present situation, people will not only be benefited after getting trained as frontline workers, but the need of supporting staff in the healthcare sector will also be met. Shailendra Mishra's report, DD India, New Delhi.
Reinforcing Modi government's commitment to provide safe and secure digital payments ecosystem, the Union Home Ministry has operationalized the national helpline number, that is 155260, and reporting platform for preventing financial loss due to cyber fraud. The national helpline and reporting platform provides a mechanism for persons cheated in cyber frauds to report such cases to prevent loss of their hard-earned money. The helpline was soft launched on April 1st this year. The helpline number 155260 and its reporting platform has been made operational by the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Centre under the Ministry of Home Affairs with active support and cooperation from the Reserve Bank of India. All major banks, payment banks and also wallets and online merchants are part of this. The system is currently being utilized along with 155260 by states and union territories, and rollout in other states for pan-national coverage is underway to prevent the flow of money siphoned off by the fraudsters. Since its soft launch, in a short span of 2 months, the helpline number 155260 has been able to save more than 1.85 crore rupees of the defrauded money from reaching the hands of fraudsters. The facility empowers both the banks and the police by leveraging new age technologies for sharing online fraud-related information and taking action in almost real time. The loss of defrauded money in online cheating cases can be stopped by chasing the money trail and stopping its further flow before it is taken out of the digital ecosystem by the fraudster. India continues to see a decline in the COVID-19 cases. The country has registered 7.98 lakh active cases. Now, this is the case load at present. It has been recorded less than 8 lakh after 73 days. Further, India has reported 62,480 new cases in the last 24 hours, with about 2.85 crore total recoveries across the country so far. 88,977 patients have recovered during the last 24 hours. Daily recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 36th consecutive day. The recovery rate has increased to 96.03%, and also the weekly positivity rate remains below 5%. And it also is currently standing at 3.8%. The daily positivity rate at 3.24%, less than 5% for the 11th consecutive day has been recorded. Testing capacity has substantially been ramped up, with 38.71 crore tests being conducted so far. Coming to the vaccination drive in the country, 26.89 crore vaccine doses have been administered under the nationwide vaccination drive till now. Uttar Pradesh government will launch a campaign to vaccinate the newly elected village pradhans. This initiative is to inspire others so that the maximum number of people in rural areas can come forward for vaccination. Newly elected village pradhans will be vaccinated on priority, whose number is more than 58,000. Later on, they will take part in the meetings organized in the rural areas to promote vaccination so that they can become an inspiration for others to follow and motivate at least the residents of their own villages. State government has inoculated around 2.5 crore beneficiaries in the state. Special camps for women and parents having children less than the age of 12 years, street vendors, media people, workers from judiciary, e-rickshaw pullers are being organized in the state. And Madhya Pradesh government is prepared with full strength to control the third wave of COVID. A public awareness campaign will be launched in the entire state for vaccination from 21st of June. The state government is launching massive public awareness campaign for vaccination from June 21st, and the campaign will start at 7,000 vaccination centers on the first day. In this campaign, the members of the state cabinet, MLAs and MPs will motivate the public to gather for vaccination. Along with this, people will also be told that vaccination is the only protection against COVID. Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari has said that the government's target is to reduce road accident deaths by 50% by 2024. Addressing virtual session on role of corporates in arresting road fatalities organized by FICCI, Gadkari congratulated FICCI on the announcement of Road Safety Consortium SUFFER and release of a white paper on road safety for the corporate world. The union minister emphasized the need for identification of black spot in every state, district and city. He said that the World Bank and ADB have already sanctioned a scheme by which the government is allocating 14,000 crore rupees for the states, NHAI and other stakeholders to remove black spots. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today visited the Kamakhya temple in Guwahati. Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma was also present during his visit to the temple. Yesterday, the Defence Minister dedicated to the nation 12 roads built by the Border Roads Organisation in northern and eastern border areas. Special emphasis has been given to yoga asanas in the illustrated book Yoga Sachitra, written by famous yoga expert Dharamveer Singh Mahida. The Directorate of Publications Division of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has reprinted the revised edition of this book after 26 years on the occasion of the 7th International Day of Yoga. Let's take a look.
This illustrated book by renowned yoga expert Dharamveer Singh Mahida in Hindi beautifully encapsulates the 8 limbs of yoga: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi, with a special focus on yogasanas. Yoga Sanchitra lists extensively illustrates multiple asanas along with their technique in detail. Every step and nuance of individual asanas has been presented in the book in a way that it may prove to be useful for beginners and professionals alike. The book also provides weekly plans where the author suggests the type of asana for each day of the week and its practice duration. The highlight of the book is Dharamveer Singh Mahida's innovative methodology for the use of various items available at home as props so that an elderly person or a beginner or those with less flexible bodies can also benefit from the practice. Through the various asanas, the author guides the reader to utilize yoga as both a preventive and a curative tool towards overall well-being. 26 years after the book was first published, the Directorate of Publications Division of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has reprinted the revised edition of Yoga Sachitra on the occasion of the 7th International Day of Yoga. Bureau Report, DD India.
According to the National Center for Seismology, earthquakes of magnitude 4.1, 3 and 2.6 on the Richter scale hit 3 states this morning. The jolts were felt in Sonitpur of Assam, Chandel in Manipur, West Khasi Hills of Meghalaya respectively. The tremors of the earthquake were felt in West Khasi Hills in Meghalaya at 4:20 this morning, with the lowest magnitude of the earthquake at 2.6. The earthquake occurred in Sonitpur in Assam was felt at 2:40 a.m. where the intensity was measured at 4.1. This is the highest among the 3 states. At the same time, earthquake tremors were also felt in Chandel of Manipur at 1.6 p.m. The intensity was measured at 3. Let's get to international updates now. In Iran, voting began for the presidential elections today. More than 72,000 polling stations have been installed across the country. According to the official statistics, out of over 59 million Iranians who are eligible to vote in the 2021 presidential election, over 1.3 million Iranians will be voting for the first time. Voting would be electronic in 24 provincial capitals where no paper ballots or usual ballot boxes would be used. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei also cast his vote in the presidential election. Hardline judiciary chief Ibrahim Raisi and moderate former central bank governor Abdul Nasser Hemati are the main contenders after the hardline Guardian Council disqualified several prominent candidates from running and others quit the race. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has appealed to the people to participate in the election. In a series of tweets, the leader said, and I quote him, "Election day is the day of the Iranian nation. It is the people who are determining the country's future for the coming years by voting. Anything the Iranian nation does today will build their future and determine their destiny for years to come. No one should say their one vote isn't effective. Every single vote is definitely important. I believe that you should participate with pure divine intention. The Supreme Court on Thursday rejected a Republican bid that had been backed by former President Donald Trump's administration to invalidate the Obamacare healthcare law, ruling that Texas and other challengers had no legal standing to file their lawsuit. The provision, called the individual mandate, originally required Americans to obtain health insurance or pay a financial penalty. It marked the third time the court has preserved Obamacare since its 2010 enactment. President Joe Biden's administration in February urged the Supreme Court to uphold Obamacare, reversing the position taken by the government under Trump, who left office in January. And in news coming in from Russia, Kremlin was guarded about future dialogues with Washington after the first face-to-face meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and his U.S. counterpart Joe Biden. The two leaders met in Geneva on Wednesday to ease soaring tensions between Moscow and Washington, with relations at their lowest since the end of the Cold War. Putin said that Russia was ready to continue the talks, provided Washington was also willing to do so. The Russian leader said that the meeting was quite friendly and that he and Biden were able to understand each other on the key issues. Putin said the U.S. president was a professional and you have to be very attentive when working with him so as to not miss something. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has said that his country needs to prepare for both dialogue and confrontation with the United States under President Joe Biden. At a plenary meeting of the Central Committee of the ruling Workers' Party of Korea on Thursday, Kim outlined his strategy for relations with Washington and the policy tendency of the newly emerged U.S. administration. According to state media, Kim stressed the need to get prepared for both dialogue and confrontation, especially to get fully prepared for confrontation in order to protect the dignity of our state and reliably guarantee a peaceful environment. The North Korean leader called for sharply and promptly reacting to and coping with a fast-changing situation and concentrating the efforts on taking stable control of the situation on the Korean peninsula. A quick update on the COVID-19 situation from across the world. The virus has infected over 17.81 crore people worldwide, while the number of recoveries stand above 16.26 crore. So far, it has claimed more than 38.57 lakh lives globally. The U.S. continues to remain worst affected from COVID-19, with number of cases crossing 3.4 crore. The country has crossed the grim milestone of over 6 lakh fatalities, and the number now stands over 6,16,000. Popular European tourist destination Disneyland Paris reopened on Thursday after nearly 8 months of closure due to pandemic-related restrictions. Crowds of French visitors entered the park to music and welcomed by Mickey, Minnie and other Disney characters. While masks are no longer mandatory outside in France starting Thursday, they remain obligatory in Disneyland Paris for those above aged 6. A 1,098-carat diamond, believed to be the third largest gem quality stone ever to be mined, has been discovered in Botswana. It is the third largest in the world, behind the 3,106-carat Cullinan stone recovered in the SA in 1905, and also the 1,109-carat diamond which was unearthed in Botswana in 2015. Let's talk of sports. Now, India and New Zealand gear up to face each other in the final of the World Test Championship. The inaugural ICC World Test Championship final will be played in Southampton from June 18 to 22nd. In the head-to-head fight between the two sides, the Black Caps have won just 12 of the 59 tests between the two teams, while India have been victorious in 21. Up next, 4 player battles to watch out for in this final, that is the WTC final between India and New Zealand.
Preet Bumrah. If India wants to win the inaugural World Test Championship final, Jasprit Bumrah needs to come great no matter what. Jasprit Bumrah has been in and out of India's test side as of late for different reasons. Subsequent to missing the test series against England on home soil, Bumrah would plan to make a solid rebound in whites as India gear up to confront New Zealand. He didn't have the best of outings against Australia. Nonetheless, he can in any case cause inconvenience to anybody on a given day thinking about his sheer spread. Kane Williamson is presently the top-ranked batsman in the ICC men's test rankings, while Jasprit Bumrah is the highest-ranked Indian pacer. Kane Williamson is the highest run scorer for New Zealand with 817 runs across 14 innings. Jasprit Bumrah's matchup against Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor will be vital to India's odds. Ashwin versus Tom Latham. Veteran off-spinner Ravichandran Ashwin is as of now the second-ranked bowler in ICC Test rankings. He caused serious trouble to the Australian batsman with his bowling abilities prior to doing likewise with the England batting lineup in the home Test series recently. He is likewise the third highest wicket taker in World Test Championship with 67 wickets. Ashwin has been India's lead spinner in the last two series against Australia and England in Jadeja's non-attendance, and has improved batting abilities have likewise reinforced his case. Meanwhile, New Zealand's vice-captain Tom Latham has been a joy to watch in the course of recent years. He's right now the 12th ranked player in the ICC Test rankings for the batsman. It will be fascinating to perceive how Latham will handle Ashwin in the forthcoming World Test Championship finale. Rohit Sharma versus Trent Boult. Veteran opening batsman Rohit Sharma is the second highest run scorer for India and 6th overall in the World Test Championship with 1,030 runs. He has slammed 4 centuries and 2 half-centuries. The 33-year-old has a double done to his name. Not only that, he's been India's main source of runs at the top of the order. Left-arm pacer Trent Boult, on the other hand, is the third highest wicket taker for the Black Caps in the World Test Championship with 34 wickets in 9 games. He will once again have the baton in his hands to scalp important wickets at the top, including one of his Mumbai Indians skipper and teammate Rohit Sharma. Virat Kohli versus Tim Southee. Tim has been an arch nemesis of Virat Kohli, having dismissed him 10 times, which more than any other bowler in the circuit. He dismissed the Indian skipper twice during their 2-0 home win over the India team last year. Tim is the leading wicket taker for the Black Caps in the World Test Championships with 51 scalps, including 5 fifers. Kohli, meanwhile, has not scored a century in any format for more than 18 months. Though the condition won't be appropriate to bat long in Southampton, Kohli does hold a decent record at the Rose Bowl. So the question is, can Kohli get the better of Tim and company this time out? Sports Desk, DD India.
And going back to our top story, we told you Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be launching a crash course program today for COVID-19 frontline workers across 111 training centers in 26 states. Now, the program aims to skill and also upskill over 1 lakh COVID warriors across the country. To get us more on this, our correspondent Arun Sharma is joining us. Arun, we've given a detailed report in the beginning of the bulletin telling our viewers about how important this program is. You spell out the salient features, the need for it to be launched at this time of the pandemic when the second wave has hit the country, and how far will it further strengthen the fight against the pandemic?
Good morning, Preeti. Indeed, it's a significant initiative, this crash course, and this will boost the skilled manpower as far as healthcare sector is concerned, specifically in Tier 2 town, Tier 3 town villages as of now. You know, this fact that close to 1 lakh skilled manpower, will be created in the span of, next 3 to 4 months. This crash course will be of approximately 3 months of time. And after this crash course, primarily on-the-job training will also be given to these 1 lakh professionals or the youngsters of our country in the healthcare sector. The senior doctors, nurses, and of course the medical professionals, they will be primarily training these 1 lakh youngsters in our country, so that they can be, they can be provided and imparted with a skilled education as far as healthcare sector is concerned. There are 6 broad categories under which these youngsters will be trained. Number 1 is, of course, the home care support. Second is basic care support. Then comes the advanced care support. Then comes the emergency care support. Fifth is very important, and that is the lab collection support. And last but not the least, the medical equipment support. Now, we have seen that during COVID pandemic time, most of the people were, opting for home collection, sample collection at home as well. But this was not so much possible in tier 2 town, tier 3 town and villages. So now when these 1 lakh youngsters will be trained over the period of time, they'll be in a position, on one side to provide basic care support, advanced care support to the patients in small towns and villages. So on the other side, sample collection, the home collection samples, testing samples, all will be possible because these youngsters will be trained going forward. We know this fact that in big cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, there is not much scarcity as far as trained professionals, the trained medical professionals are concerned. But when we compare the same number to the villages, tier 2 town, tier 3 town, over there is a little bit of scarcity. But yes, after this initiative by the government, close to 1 lakh youngsters will come into main force or the workforce primarily as far as skilled manpower is concerned in the healthcare sector. So this will on one side provide employability, jobs to the youngsters of our country in the healthcare sector. On the other side, a second important aspect is that as far as availability is concerned for the medical professionals, the skilled manpower primarily in the healthcare sector, that will be, will be provided to the country. So yes, it's a twin goal by this initiative of a crash course. This crash course will of course be in close to 26 states in our country. Primarily, it will be focusing upon tier 1 town, tier 2 town, tier 3 towns, small districts as well, so that the availability of the skilled manpower in the healthcare sector can be provided. And of course, 111 centers all across the country will be there, so that proper training can be done. So yes, initially a 3-month course, and then afterwards in the hospitals, all these skilled professionals will be deputed so that they can learn on the job as well. They'll also be provided with a stipend so that on one side jobs can be created. These youngsters can be trained in this COVID pandemic time as far as medical aspect is concerned. And last but not the least, people of our country will be getting better skilled manpower in the smaller towns as well. So this is some of the aspect of this big initiative of providing crash course. We have seen that how in COVID pandemic time, the medical interns were roped in during this second wave. Primarily, the medical interns were roped in to work as a frontline workers, and of course to give support in the hospitals during the COVID pandemic time. Thus, government is ensuring that on one side, skilled manpower can be increased in our country. So on the other side, government is also ensuring that how can healthcare infrastructure be built so that we can create a better healthcare facilities for the citizens of our country. So yes, it's all about achieving twin objective. On one side, creating healthcare infrastructure. So on the other side, training and upgrading the skilling of the healthcare professional is also on the focus or the agenda of the government. So in that context, today's initiative of this crash course for the medical professionals or upskilling or reskilling of the medical professionals is going to be very much significant, Preeti.
All right, you've talked of the significance, Arun, and the prime objective of the course is to upgrade and to upskill the medical professionals across the country in small tier towns. Spell out more details on the contours of this crash course program. What are the specific areas wherein this program will be centered on?
So there are 6 broad areas whereby the complete focus of this training depends upon. We know this fact, these 6 broad areas. Number 1 is the home care center. That means anybody who's looking for basic facilities or care in the home, the professionals or the skilled manpower can be trained in that aspect. Second is basic care support. Then comes the advanced care support. That means if in case somebody wants to operate a system like ICU beds, somebody wants to do the testing parts, how to inject or to vaccinate someone. So in that context is basic care, and advanced care comes in. When it comes to the another aspect also, there is also emergency care, whereby managing the ICU beds, and of course various other aspects which includes critical manpower which needs a critical skill support. In that aspect, these youngsters will be trained. Then comes the sample collection support, whereby youngsters will be trained as to how can sample collection can be done. We have seen that during the COVID pandemic time, most of the people were opting for a sample collection at their home, a sample collection at the doorstep. So in that context, in big cities, we have seen this was possible. But when it comes to small towns, villages, Over there, it was not possible. People were supposed to move to the labs and they had to give the samples. But yes, when the youngsters and professionals are being trained, home collection center or primarily home collection will also become easier going forward, because youngsters will be in a position to move ahead and they can collect sample from home. So this kind of skill is also very much important in today's time, because be it RT-PCR test, be it blood test collection, or be it any other kind of test which is required to diagnose any kind of disease, these testing skills are very much important. And youngsters, when they'll be skilled on these aspects, it will be very much easier, for the government also to rampen up this the testing mechanism also in tier 2 town, tier 3 town and villages as well. Last but not the least, it's about the medical equipment support. That means how can medical equipments can be, dealt with, how can they be taken care of. So all youngsters primarily will be given the all-round training which is required in the healthcare system, so that primarily India can also make an ecosystem whereby the youngsters, the professionals, they can upgrade their skills, they can reskill themselves, or they can upskill themselves. So that's the basic idea. On the other side, we are also witnessing that how in last 2-3 months, various initiatives or various steps were taken so that the healthcare infrastructure can also be created, be it the oxygen supply plants that should be created, be it converting the nitrogen plants to oxygen supplying plants. We have increased or ramped up our capacities as far as oxygen plants are concerned, or increasing the oxygen supply in our country. So a lot of infrastructure has been built on this aspect. In last 1.5 years, we have seen it how.
Yes, that was our correspondent Arun spelling out more details on this crash course program, which will be launched by the Prime Minister in a short while from now. This program will be centered on upgrading and reskilling the frontline warriors across the country. And we've seen the role the frontline workers have played all through the first wave of the pandemic, and also when the second wave of the pandemic struck. And the Prime Minister has time and again thanked and has acknowledged the efforts of the frontline workers in the fight against the pandemic. Now, this is a customized crash course, and this will be launched today by the Prime Minister. And this will be launched in 111 training centers spread over 26 states. Now, the basic aim of the program is to make available skilled workers across the small towns, tier 2 cities of the country. In the metropolitan cities, we've seen that expert medical care is handy, but not in small towns, not in tier 2 cities, and this will further help the health infrastructure in these small towns and tier 2 cities in these times of the pandemic. Skilling and upskilling of the COVID warriors, more than 1 lakh COVID warriors, will be done through this program, this crash course program, which will be launched for the Prime Minister in a short while from now. Also, when we're talking of different aspects of this program, this will be covering 6 important areas, which include job roles like home care support, basic care support, advanced care support, emergency care support, sample collection support, and medical equipment support. Now, these are the 6 varied aspects of the program which will in a whole way further strengthen the health infrastructure and also the care which will be given by the frontline workers or the COVID warriors during these times of the pandemic. Also, the program has been designed as a special project under Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3. And even also in the previous bulletins, we've got you detailed reports on this. The total financial outlay of the program is rupees 276 crore. And also the program will create skilled non-medical healthcare warriors and workers to fill the present and future needs of manpower in the health sector. Arun is there with us. Arun, when we talk of this fight against the pandemic, we've seen that from the time where we did not have PPE kits to this day when we have put up a brave fight against the pandemic, the cases are on a decline, the recovery rate is improving with each passing day. You evaluate for us how important has been the role of these frontline workers and also the idea of the government to rope in the non-skilled, the skilled medical, non-medical professionals through this program that will further give more weightage, that will further give more fillip to this fight against the pandemic.
Preeti, India is a vast country with a population size of 130 crore rupees. When we talk about the doctors-patient ratio, it is more than 1:10,000. So this shows that yes, there is a deficit as far as doctor-patient ratio is concerned in a country like India. But on the other side, when we talk about small towns, tier 2 town, tier 3 town, over there is also a lot of scarcity as far as frontline workers like the medical professionals primarily are concerned, who give the basic care support or the home care support to the patient. Now in COVID pandemic time, government has taken this big initiative of providing crash course for upgrading the skill set of these youngsters who, number one, are looking for some kind of job option or who wants to make their career in the healthcare sector only. For them, this skilling program is going to be very much important because number one, it is under the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3.0. So this means this comes under the Skill Development Ministry. They'll be certified with the Skill Development Ministry course under the ambit of healthcare sector. Second important aspect is that the outlay is of close to 300 crore rupees as far as this specific initiative is concerned. Next important aspect is that as far as these youngsters are concerned, on one side they'll be getting a job, they'll be on the payroll very soon because of the fact that initially they'll be trained for 3 months. Afterwards, they'll be provided stipend and they'll be working in the hospitals, big hospitals, also hospitals in tier 2 town, tier 3 towns, also in villages. And of course, they can have a basic idea of, what is need of the hour during the COVID pandemic time. As far as testing is concerned, as far as providing home care support, basic care support, advanced care support, emergency care support is concerned. So what are the basic needs? They'll be learning all these things theoretically also and practically also, and government will also be providing stipend for that. Afterwards, they'll be having an option. They can move on to some other big hospitals. They can, with this skill set, they can also upgrade with this upgraded skill set. They can move on to some other hospitals also. So primarily, on one side, we are creating a pool of skilled manpower in the non-medical category. Second important aspect is that as far as availability of manpower is concerned in the medical sector, this will increase specifically in tier 2 and tier 3 towns. Yes, you are absolutely right, PT, that in last 1.5 years, India has ramped up its capacities as far as healthcare infrastructure is concerned. Now, India is in a position to, earlier primarily in 2020, India was importing the PPE kits, the N95 masks, but now more than 1.25 crore N95 masks are being manufactured in a country like India. More than 1 crore PP kits are being manufactured in country like India. And of course, we are also now exporting all these items as well to Made in India vaccine, primarily, this also shows the strength of Indian medical fraternity as well, the scientific community as well, that how in a short span of time, we have developed the Made in India vaccine, that is Covishield vaccine. And of course, there are various other vaccine candidates in pipeline, which are into their various phases of trials. So this gives a sense that as far as the medical fraternity is concerned, the scientific community is concerned, they've done their role. And of course, now it's time to upgrade the skills of the frontline workers in the non-medical category, so that in the tier 2 and tier 3 towns primarily, the medical professionals can be made available to the people of our country.
All right, Arun, also we tell our viewers that this crash course program is part of Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 3.0. Spell out more details on that as well. The third edition of Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, how is it different from the previous 2 editions?
So the point is, see, right from 2014, the focus of the government has been to create the skilled manpower in our country. When we compare it to other countries, in countries like South Korea, the skilled manpower is close to 70%. In country like Russia, the skilled manpower is more than 60%. In USA, the skilled manpower is again more than 80%. So yes, these countries primarily, the developed countries are primarily focusing upon creating the pool of the skilled manpower.
Arun, I'll interrupt you here. The Prime Minister's program is about to begin. The Prime Minister will launch customized crash course program for COVID-19 frontline workers.
नमस्कार आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, आज के इस विशेष प्रशिक्षण के कार्यक्रम में आपके विशिष्ट उपस्थिति के लिए मैं अपने और अपने मंत्रालय की तरफ से आपका हार्दिक स्वागत अभिनंदन करता हूं। अपने अत्यंत व्यस्त समय में से जो मूल्यवान समय हमारे इस आयोजन के लिए प्रदान किया है, युवाओं को ऊर्जा देने के लिए, इसके लिए मैं एक बार पुनः आपका कोटि कोटि अभिवादन करता हूं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, जिस तरह आपने इस विषय को हम सबको प्रबोधन दिया, उसी क्रम में इसकी कार्य योजना बनाई और आज इस लॉन्चिंग के अवसर पर हमारे संग वर्चुअल माध्यम से जुड़े हुए माननीय मंत्री श्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी, डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन जी, श्री आर.के. सिंह जी, श्री अश्विनी चौबे, श्री नित्यानंद राय जी, एनएसडी चेयरमैन श्री एम नाइक जी, हेल्थ सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल के चेयरमैन डॉक्टर नरेश त्रेहान जी, विभाग के सचिव श्री प्रवीण कुमार जी, राज्यों से जुड़े माननीय कौशल मंत्रीगण, माननीय सांसदगण, अन्य जनप्रतिनिधिगण तथा प्रशिक्षु एवं अन्य महानुभावों के प्रति मैं सम्मान व्यक्त करता हूं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, जिस तरह आपने कोरोना की महामारी को मार्च 2020 से भारत जैसे विशाल देश में उस चुनौती को संभाला, दूसरी लहर आने की परिस्थिति में भी इस कठिन चुनौती में इतने विशाल देश में विभिन्न बिंदुओं की चर्चा करने की जगह केवल एक बात रेखांकित करूंगा कि 10 दिन के अंदर जिस तरह ऑक्सीजन की किल्लत को आपने कंट्रोल किया और पूरे देश को उस कठिनाई से उबारने का काम किया, ये सब बहुत ही अभिनंदनीय कार्य है। देश पूरा इसको देख रहा है। समय समय पर आपने हम सबको हमेशा मार्गदर्शन दिया कि आगामी चुनौतियां हैं, यदि तीसरी लहर संभावित है या और भी कोई चुनौती हेल्थ सेक्टर की आती है तो सभी मंत्रालयों को उस पर पहल करनी चाहिए। आपकी इसी प्रेरणा, आपके इसी मार्गदर्शन में हमारे विभाग ने, हमारी टीम ने यह एक विशेष कार्य योजना चिकित्सा क्षेत्र के दृष्टि से हम लोगों ने बनाई। क्योंकि कौशल भारत मिशन आपकी प्रेरणा से 2014-15 से जो शुरू हुआ और आपने जो मार्गदर्शन दिया, उस क्रम में प्रतिवर्ष करोड़ों युवा इस कौशल भारत मिशन अभियान से जुड़ रहे हैं, स्किल्ड हो रहे हैं। और आप सबने, आपने जो हम सबको अभी गत 15 जुलाई को 2020 को विश्व युवा कौशल दिवस के दिन जो एक मंत्र दिया कि स्किलिंग की एक निरंतर जुनून होनी चाहिए, उस जुनून में स्किलिंग, रीस्किलिंग, अप स्किलिंग का जो मंत्र आपने दिया, उन सबको मद्देनजर रख करके हम लोगों ने इसमें 1 लाख युवाओं को इस प्रारंभिक अभियान में कौशलीकृत करके इस चिकित्सा क्षेत्र में जो डॉक्टर्स पर, जो पैरामेडिकल पर, नर्सेज के ऊपर काम का दबाव है और आपकी पहल पर चिकित्सा सुविधाओं का विस्तार हो रहा है, आपकी पहल पर अनेक अस्पताल, डीआरडीओ तक ने, सेना तक ने भी कमाल जगह जगह संभाली। तो इसमें कुशल कार्यबल की आवश्यकता को ध्यान में रखते हुए हम लोगों ने इस पहल को आगे बढ़ाया और उसमें उच्च स्तरीय चिकित्सा परामर्श और चिकित्सा क्षेत्र के लोगों के परामर्श से 6 प्रकार के एक कस्टमाइज्ड क्रैश कोर्स का हम लोगों ने प्रावधान किया, जिसमें बेसिक केयर सपोर्ट, इमरजेंसी केयर सपोर्ट, एडवांस केयर सपोर्ट, सैंपल कलेक्शन से केयर सपोर्ट, होम केयर सपोर्ट, मेडिकल इक्विपमेंट सपोर्ट, ये 6 प्रकार के पाठ्यक्रम में इसमें जो प्रशिक्षित होंगे, इनके आगे आने से और इसमें डॉक्टर्स और नर्सेज पर उनके काम का दबाव थोड़ा कम होगा, ये उनके सहयोगी बनेंगे, जिससे वो और मरीजों की बेहतर प्रकार से सेवा कर सकेंगे। इस दृष्टि से हम लोगों ने एक देशव्यापी प्रयत्न किया, इसमें सभी राज्यों से संवाद स्थापित किया, सभी इस विषय के विशेषज्ञों से संवाद स्थापित किया और डिस्ट्रिक्ट स्किल कमेटियों को भी इसमें बड़े प्रभावी तरीके से उनकी सहभागिता सुनिश्चित की, जिसके चलते आपको आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी बताते हुए प्रसन्नता हो रही है कि इतना इसका रिस्पांस हुआ कि लगभग 2.25 लाख युवा बिना किसी विशेष पहल के केवल एक विषय को नीचे पहुंचाने के क्रम में ही इससे जुड़ने को तत्पर हो गए। तो प्रथम चरण में हम लोगों ने 1 लाख को इसमें चिन्हित किया और उसमें आपके उस मंत्र का भी ध्यान रखा कि फ्रेश स्किलिंग के साथ साथ अप स्किलिंग तो इसमें हम बड़ी संख्या में फ्रेश स्किलिंग कर रहे हैं और एक निश्चित संख्या में वो नौजवान जो इसी कौशल भारत मिशन के प्रधानमंत्री कौशल विकास योजना के द्वितीय चरण में PMKY 2 के तहत प्रशिक्षित थे और विभिन्न अस्पतालों में लगे सेवा कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उन्हीं में से कुछ लगभग 10,000 से अधिक उनको अप स्किलिंग कर रहे हैं। तो इस प्रकार से हम लोगों ने इसकी रचना की है। इस रचना में हम सब लोगों ने 3 हफ्ते तक फ्रेश स्किलिंग वालों को और अप स्किलिंग को 1 हफ्ते तक इस परिप्रेक्ष्य में उनको ट्रेनिंग देंगे और 3 हफ्ते की ट्रेनिंग के बाद इनको ऑन द जॉब ट्रेनिंग के लिए 3 माह के लिए विभिन्न चिकित्सा केंद्रों पर, अस्पतालों पर, विभिन्न डायग्नोस्टिक सेंटर पर, हेल्थ से जुड़े विभिन्न जगहों पर उसे जोड़ेंगे और ऑन द जॉब ट्रेनिंग के दौरान सरकारी अस्पताल हो, निजी अस्पताल हो, डायग्नोस्टिक सेंटर हो, उन पर किसी प्रकार का दबाव न हो, वो सहजता से इनको अपना के अपने यहाँ ट्रेनिंग में इनकी ट्रेनिंग में भी प्रोवाइड करें और इनको अपना सहभागी भी बनाएं। इसलिए उस दौरान उनकी फूडिंग, लॉजिंग और उनको वहां पर कुछ स्टाइपेंड देकर प्रोत्साहन की भी एक रचना बनाई गई है। उसका भी बेहतर रिस्पांस मिल रहा है और इसके करने के बाद, ये प्रशिक्षित होने के बाद हम इनमें इनकी क्लोज मॉनिटरिंग कर रहे हैं। 3 हफ्ते की ट्रेनिंग के दौरान भी इनके प्रमाणन में स्ट्रांग मॉनिटरिंग करेंगे ताकि उनको उचित प्रमाण पत्र उनकी पूरी क्षमता के आधार पर उनको मिले और 3 महीने के उससे करने के बाद हम सब इनको फिर से सर्टिफाइड करेंगे उनकी ऑन द जॉब ट्रेनिंग को और तब उन्हें चिकित्सा क्षेत्र के लोगों के लिए 1 लाख युवाओं की एक वर्कफोर्स आगामी चुनौतियों में तैयार रहेगी, जो समय समय पर आपका हमेशा बल माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी देश की महान जनता की सेवा में रहता है कि हर क्षण हमको जनता के सुख दुख में, गरीबों की मदद में वहां खड़े रहना है, चिकित्सा की जरूरतों को वहां खड़े रहना है। तो वहां पर ये नौजवान खड़े रहेंगे और इनके वजह से ये प्रशिक्षित होने के बाद ऑक्सीजन प्रोवाइडर में, ऑक्सीजन कंसंट्रेटर में, वेंटिलेटर के मददगार में, ब्लड सैंपल कलेक्शन में, अन्य सैंपल कलेक्शन में, होम केयर हेल्थ सर्विसेज में एक मददगार फोर्स हमारी साबित होगी। इस दृष्टि से हम लोगों ने और आपकी प्रेरणा से इसी बजटीय प्रावधान में PMKY 3 जो लॉन्च हुई है आपकी कृपापूर्ण अनुमति से, उसी में से 273 करोड़ रुपए का इस दृष्टि से हम लोगों ने प्रावधान किया है। यह जो पूरी रचना बनी है, आज जो आप अपने कर कमलों से लॉन्चिंग करके ये जो अपने प्रेरक मार्गदर्शन से शुभारंभ करने जा रहे हैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, वह देश के 100 जिलों में 111 केंद्रों पर आज ये कार्य योजना प्रारंभ हो रही है और देश के विभिन्न भागों में बड़ी संख्या में लोग इसमें बड़े उत्साह से जुड़े हुए हैं। आज की इस अवसर पर मैं आप सबको एक बार सभी जुड़ों लोगों का अभिनंदन करते हुए मैं आज आपको यह भी भरोसा देना चाहूंगा, अभी आपने दुनिया के लिए G7 समिट की संबोधन में एक नया मंत्र दिया। आपने नया मंत्र दिया, वन अर्थ वन हेल्थ। यह भारत की प्राचीन जो सांस्कृतिक परंपरा है, दुनिया को परिवार समझना, वसुधैव कुटुंबकम की परंपरा, सर्वे भवन्ति सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया का 21वीं शताब्दी का और विशेषकर कोविड की परिस्थिति में यह जो आपका महामंत्र है, कोविड के बाद की नई दुनिया के लिए यह आपने उसी सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया का एक विस्तार किया है। इसके लिए विशेष आपका अभिनंदन करते हुए इसी महामंत्र के क्रियान्वयन में हमारा विभाग ये छोटी सी एक सेवा की भूमिका में इस प्रशिक्षित युवकों के माध्यम से उपस्थित और जुड़ा रहेगा और आपके हर मार्गदर्शन पर पूरी जिम्मेवारी से, पूरी लगन से हम सब करेंगे। और आज आपके स्वयं इसकी लॉन्चिंग का हम सबका अनुरोध, हमारी प्रार्थना स्वीकार कर आपने जो हौसला हम सबका बढ़ाया है उसके लिए अभिनंदन करते हुए अपने आप यह विषय देश की युवाओं में बहुत ही प्रेरक और बहुत ही उत्साहवर्धक बना है। इस अवसर पर आपकी अनुमति से हम एक लघु फिल्म प्रारंभ करना चाहेंगे जो इस पर बना हुआ है, जिस पर लोगों ने जो जगह जगह से युवक जुड़े हुए हैं और जो इसके प्रतिभागी हैं, आपकी अनुमति से हम वो लघु फिल्म प्रारंभ कर रहे हैं।
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री के कुशल नेतृत्व में कोरोना के खिलाफ लड़ाई में पूरे देश में युद्ध स्तर पर काम हुआ और सभी सरकार के तंत्र एकजुट होकर काम में लगे रहे। अन्य मंत्रालयों के साथ कौशल विकास और उद्यमशीलता मंत्रालय ने कोरोना के खिलाफ लड़ाई में कदम से कदम मिलाकर अग्रणी भूमिका निभाई। पिछले साल देश भर में 2 लाख प्रशिक्षित व प्रमाणित हेल्थ केयर वर्कर्स की सूची केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य एवं परिवार कल्याण मंत्रालय को दी। इन फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर्स ने डॉक्टर्स और अन्य सहकर्मियों के साथ एकजुट होकर इस आपदा का पूरी बहादुरी और सामर्थ्य से सामना किया।
हमारे डॉक्टर्स, हमारे हेल्थ वर्कर्स के इतने बड़ी परिश्रम से ही इस दबाव को संभालना संभव हुआ है।
देश में आगामी हर चुनौती का डटकर सामना करने के लिए एक ट्रेन वर्कफोर्स तैयार करने हेतु कौशल विकास और उद्यमशीलता मंत्रालय ने एनएसडीसी तथा हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल के सहयोग से स्किल इंडिया प्रोग्राम के अंतर्गत कोरोना से लड़ने के लिए 6 नए कस्टमाइज्ड क्रैश कोर्स विकसित किए हैं। इनका उद्देश्य 1 लाख से अधिक स्वास्थ्य पेशेवरों की स्किलिंग और अपस्किलिंग कराना है। कोरोना फ्रंटलाइन कोर्स के अंतर्गत बेसिक मेडिकल केयर, इमरजेंसी केयर सपोर्ट, एडवांस केयर सपोर्ट, सैंपल कलेक्शन, होम केयर असिस्टेंस, मेडिकल इक्विपमेंट जैसे नए जॉब रोल्स में प्रशिक्षण दिया जाएगा। इन ट्रेनिंग में बेसिक इक्विपमेंट जैसे ऑक्सीजन कॉन्सेंट्रेटर, ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर, नेबुलाइजर, ईसीजी और पल्स ऑक्सीमीटर के काम करने में सहायता, आपात स्थिति के लिए एम्बुलेंस तैयार करने में मदद और पीड़ितों के घर में मेडिकल सहायता करना सिखाया जाएगा। उम्मीदवारों को सरकारी प्रमाण पत्र, ऑन द जॉब ट्रेनिंग, स्टाइपेंड, 2 लाख रुपए का दुर्घटना बीमा, आवास की व्यवस्था शामिल हैं। साथ ही राज्य सरकारों को ये भी निर्देश दिया जा रहा है कि वे सभी उम्मीदवारों का टीकाकरण भी सुनिश्चित करें। शुरुआत में मंत्रालय द्वारा राज्य के सहयोग से 26 राज्यों में फैले 111 कौशल केंद्रों में कोविड दिशा निर्देशों का पालन करते हुए ट्रेनिंग्स को चरणबद्ध तरीके से लागू किया जाएगा। जल्द ही इस ट्रेनिंग को देश भर में विस्तृत किया जाएगा। कौशल विकास और उद्यमशीलता मंत्रालय का लक्ष्य हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर में गुणवत्तापूर्ण सहायता प्रदान करना और कोरोना के खिलाफ लड़ाई में योगदान देना है, ताकि हमारा देश सशक्त भारत और स्वस्थ भारत बन सके।
आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी, हम आपसे पुनः अनुरोध करेंगे कि स्वास्थ्य क्षेत्र के विशेष कौशल प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रम का बटन दबाकर शुभारंभ करते हुए हम सबको अपना प्रेरक मार्गदर्शन प्रदान करेंगे।
नमस्कार। केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल के मेरे सहयोगी श्रीमान महेंद्र नाथ पांडे जी, आर.के. सिंह जी, अन्य सभी वरिष्ठ मंत्रीगण, इस कार्यक्रम में जुड़े सभी युवा साथी, प्रोफेशनल्स, अन्य महानुभाव और भाइयों और बहनों, कोरोना के खिलाफ महायुद्ध में आज एक महत्वपूर्ण अभियान का अगला चरण प्रारंभ हो रहा है। कोरोना की पहली बैच के दौरान, जब पहला वेव था, उस दौरान देश में हजारों प्रोफेशनल्स स्किल डेवलपमेंट अभियान से जुड़े। इस प्रयास ने देश को कोरोना से मुकाबला करने की बड़ी ताकत दी। अब कोरोना की दूसरी वेव के बाद जो अनुभव मिले हैं, वो अनुभव आज के इस कार्यक्रम का प्रमुख आधार बने हैं। कोरोना की दूसरी वेव में हम लोगों ने देखा कि कोरोना वायरस का बदलना और बार बार बदलता स्वरूप किस तरह की चुनौतियां हमारे सामने ला सकता है। ये वायरस हमारे बीच अभी भी है और जब तक इसके म्यूटेट होने की संभावना भी बनी हुई है, इसलिए हर इलाज, हर सावधानी के साथ साथ आने वाली चुनौतियों से निपटने के लिए हमें देश की तैयारियों को और ज्यादा बढ़ाना होगा। इसी लक्ष्य के साथ आज देश में 1 लाख फ्रंटलाइन कोरोना वॉरियर्स तैयार करने का महाअभियान शुरू हो रहा है। साथियों, इस महामारी ने दुनिया के हर देश, हर संस्था, हर समाज, हर परिवार, हर इंसान के सामर्थ्य को, उसकी सीमाओं को बार बार परखा है। वही इस महामारी ने साइंस, सरकार, समाज, संस्था और व्यक्ति के रूप में भी हमें अपनी क्षमताओं का विस्तार करने के लिए सतर्क भी किया है। पीपीई किट्स और टेस्टिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर से लेकर कोविड केयर और ट्रीटमेंट से जुड़े मेडिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का जो बड़ा नेटवर्क आज भारत में बना है, वो काम अब भी चल रहा है और वो इसी का परिणाम है। आज देश के दूर सुदूर में अस्पतालों तक भी वेंटिलेटर्स, ऑक्सीजन कंसंट्रेटर्स पहुंचाने का भी तेज गति से प्रयास किया जा रहा है। 1,500 से ज्यादा ऑक्सीजन प्लांट्स बनाने का काम युद्ध स्तर पर जारी है और हिंदुस्तान के हर जिले में पहुंचने का एक भगीरथ प्रयास है। इन प्रयासों के बीच एक स्किल्ड मैन पावर का बड़ा पूल होना, उस पूल में नए लोग जुड़ते रहना, ये भी उतना ही जरूरी है। इसी को देखते हुए कोरोना से लड़ रही वर्तमान फोर्स को सपोर्ट करने के लिए देश में करीब 1 लाख युवाओं को ट्रेन करने का लक्ष्य रखा गया है। ये कोर्स 2-3 महीने में ही पूरा हो जाएगा, इसलिए ये लोग तुरंत काम के लिए उपलब्ध भी हो जाएंगे और एक ट्रेंड सहायक के रूप में वर्तमान व्यवस्था को काफी कुछ सहायता देंगे, उनका बोझ हल्का करेंगे। देश के हर राज्य और केंद्र शासित प्रदेशों की मांग के आधार पर देश के टॉप एक्सपर्ट्स ने क्रैश कोर्स डिजाइन किया है। आज 6 नए कस्टमाइज्ड कोर्स लॉन्च किए जा रहे हैं। नर्सिंग से जुड़ा सामान्य काम हो, होम केयर हो, क्रिटिकल केयर में मदद हो, सैंपल कलेक्शन हो, मेडिकल टेक्नीशियन हो, नए नए उपकरणों की ट्रेनिंग हो, इसके लिए युवाओं को तैयार किया जा रहा है। इसमें नए युवाओं की स्किलिंग भी होगी और जो पहले से इस प्रकार से काम में ट्रेंड हो चुके हैं उनकी अपस्किलिंग भी होगी। इस अभियान से कोविड से लड़ रही हमारी हेल्थ सेक्टर की फ्रंटलाइन फोर्स को नई ऊर्जा भी मिलेगी और हमारे युवाओं रोजगार के नए अवसर के लिए उनके लिए सुविधा बनेगी। साथियों, स्किल, रीस्किल और अपस्किल ये मंत्र कितना महत्वपूर्ण है, ये कोरोना काल ने फिर सिद्ध किया है। हेल्थ सेक्टर के लोग स्किल तो है थे ही, उन्होंने कोरोना से निपटने के लिए बहुत कुछ नया सीखा भी, यानी एक तरह से उन्होंने खुद को रिस्किल किया। इसके साथ ही उनमें जो स्किल पहले थी उसका भी उन्होंने विस्तार किया। बदलती परिस्थितियों के अनुसार अपनी स्किल को अपग्रेड या वैल्यू एडिशन करना, ये अपस्किलिंग है और समय की यही मांग है। और जिस गति से टेक्नोलॉजी जीवन के हर क्षेत्र में प्रवेश कर रही है, तब लगातार डायनेमिक व्यवस्था अपस्किलिंग की अनिवार्य हो गई है। स्किल, रीस्किल और अपस्किल के इस महत्व को समझते हुए देश में स्किल इंडिया मिशन शुरू किया गया था। पहली बार अलग से कौशल विकास मंत्रालय बनाना है। देश भर में प्रधानमंत्री कौशल विकास केंद्र खोलना हो, आईटीआई की संख्या बढ़ाना हो, उनमें लाखों नई सीट जोड़ना हो, इस पर लगातार काम किया गया है। आज स्किल इंडिया मिशन हर साल लाखों युवाओं को आज की जरूरत के हिसाब से ट्रेनिंग देने में बहुत बड़ी मदद कर रहा है। इस बात की देश में बहुत चर्चा नहीं हो पाई कि स्किल डेवलपमेंट के इस अभियान ने कोरोना के इस समय में देश को कितनी बड़ी ताकत दी। बीते साल जब से कोरोना की चुनौती हमारे सामने आई है, तब से ही कौशल विकास मंत्रालय ने देश भर के लाखों हेल्थ वर्कर्स को ट्रेन करने में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है। डिमांड ड्रिवन स्किल सेट तैयार करने के लिए जिस भावना के साथ इस मंत्रालय को बनाया गया था, उस पर आज और तेजी से काम हो रहा है। साथियों, हमारी जनसंख्या को देखते हुए हेल्थ सेक्टर में डॉक्टर, नर्स और पैरामेडिकल से जुड़ी जो विशेष सेवाएं हैं, उनका विस्तार करते रहना उतना ही आवश्यक है। इसे लेकर भी पिछले कुछ वर्षों में एक फोकस अप्रोच के साथ काम किया गया है। बीते 7 साल में नए एम्स, नए मेडिकल कॉलेज और नए नर्सिंग कॉलेज के निर्माण पर बहुत ज्यादा बल दिया गया। इनमें से अधिकांश ने काम करना शुरू भी कर दिया है। इसी तरह मेडिकल एजुकेशन और इससे जुड़े संस्थानों में रिफॉर्म्स को प्रोत्साहित किया जा रहा है। आज जिस गति से, जिस गंभीरता से हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल्स तैयार करने पर चल रहा है, वह अभूतपूर्व है। साथियों, आज के इस कार्यक्रम में हमारे हेल्थ सेक्टर के एक बहुत मजबूत स्तंभ की चर्चा की जरूर करना चाहता हूं। अक्सर हमारे इन साथियों की चर्चा छूट जाती है। ये साथी हैं हमारे आशा, एएनएम, आंगनवाड़ी और गांव-गांव में डिस्पेंसरियों में तैनात हमारे स्वास्थ्य कर्मी। हमारे ये साथी संक्रमण को रोकने से लेकर दुनिया के सबसे बड़े टीकाकरण अभियान तक में बहुत महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभा रहे हैं। मौसम की स्थितियां, भौगोलिक परिस्थिति कितनी भी विपरीत हो, ये साथी एक एक देशवासी के सुरक्षा के लिए दिन रात जुटे हुए हैं। गांवों में संक्रमण के फैलाव को रोकने में, दूर सुदूर के क्षेत्रों में, पहाड़ी और जनजातीय क्षेत्र में टीकाकरण अभियान को सफलतापूर्वक चलाने में हमारे इन साथियों ने बहुत बड़ी भूमिका अदा की है। 21 जून से देश में टीकाकरण अभियान का विस्तार हो रहा है। उसे भी हमारे ये सारे साथी बहुत ताकत दे रहे हैं, बहुत ऊर्जा दे रहे हैं। मैं आज सार्वजनिक रूप से इनकी भूरी भूरी प्रशंसा करता हूं। इन हमारे सभी साथियों की सराहना करता हूं। साथियों, 21 जून से जो टीकाकरण अभियान शुरू हो रहा है, उससे जुड़ी अनेक गाइडलाइंस जारी की गई है। अब 18 साल से ऊपर के साथियों को वही सुविधा मिलेगी जो अभी तक 45 साल से ऊपर के हमारे महानुभावों को मिल रही थी। केंद्र सरकार हर देशवासी को टीका लगाने के लिए, मुफ्त टीका लगाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। हमें कोरोना प्रोटोकॉल का भी पूरा ध्यान रखना है। मास्क और 2 गज की दूरी ये बहुत जरूरी है। आखिर में मैं ये क्रैश कोर्स करने वाले सभी युवाओं को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। मुझे विश्वास है आपकी नई स्किल्स देशवासियों का जीवन बचाने में लगातार काम आएगी और आपको भी अपने जीवन का एक नया प्रवेश एक बहुत ही संतोष देगा। क्योंकि आप जब पहली बार रोजगार के लिए जीवन की शुरुआत कर रहे थे, तब आप मानव जीवन की रक्षा में अपने आप को जोड़ रहे थे, लोगों की जिंदगी बचाने के लिए जुड़ रहे थे। पिछले 1.5 साल से रात दिन काम कर रहे हैं हमारे डॉक्टर, हमारी नर्सेज। इतना बोझ उन्होंने झेला है। आपके आने से उनको मदद मिलने वाली है, उनको एक नई ताकत मिलने वाली है। इसलिए ये कोर्स अपने आप में आपकी जिंदगी में एक नया अवसर लेकर के आ रहा है। मानवता की सेवा का, लोक कल्याण का एक विशेष अवसर आपको उपलब्ध हो रहा है। इस पवित्र कार्य के लिए, मानव सेवा के कार्य के लिए ईश्वर आपको बहुत शक्ति दे। आप जल्द से जल्द इस कोर्स का हर बारीकी को सीखें, अपने आप को उत्तम व्यक्ति बनाने का प्रयास करें। आपके पास वो स्किल हो जो हर किसी की जिंदगी बचाने के काम आए। इसके लिए मेरी तरफ से आपको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं हैं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
हम माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का इस प्रेरक मार्गदर्शन और इस लॉन्चिंग के निमित्त बहुत बहुत हृदय से आभार, धन्यवाद व्यक्त करते हुए उनका पुनः अभिनंदन करते हैं। अब माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी प्रस्थान करेंगे।
So that was the live coverage of the program wherein Prime Minister launched the crash course program for the frontline workers through video conferencing. The Prime Minister lauded the efforts which have been put forth by the healthcare professionals all across the country in the past 1 to 2 years when the country was struck by the pandemic. The Prime Minister talked of how this course will end in 2-3 months and will lessen the burden of the healthcare system when these people, these frontline workers, after having been trained through this course, will step and will further enrich the healthcare system with their services. He also talked of the 6 new courses. He said skill, reskill and upskill. Now this is the mantra which is the need of the hour, and he also talked of how this will further add more weight to the fight against the pandemic. He also talked of how a Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas scheme has contributed in the pandemic and how it has led to skill development amongst the people of the country, the youth of the country. And he also talked of how the scheme has succeeded in imparting demand-driven skill. He also wholeheartedly appreciated the efforts of the ASHA workers and other medical professionals in the rural areas who have, irrespective of the difficulties faced, have succeeded in making sure that the vaccination drive is a success, and they have successfully taken forward the vaccination drive in the rural areas as well. He also talked of how the vaccination drive will further be enhanced and will be expanded from 21st of June, and how the people above 18 years of age will now be given the vaccination from 21st of June. So in a gist, that was the gist of the Prime Minister's address after he launched the program for frontline workers. In the bulletin that follows, we will get you more highlights. But as of now, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Before we go, I'm told let us talk more about this, and when we speak about this, the Prime Minister very aptly talked of the times which we are living in. He said the difficulties which were faced in the initial days of the pandemic, when the country was not armed enough in the fight against the pandemic, from shortage of PPE kits to medical infrastructure, to this day when we have an expanded medical structure, enriched medical infrastructure across the country, when medicines are being exported, vaccines are being exported to other countries, indigenous vaccines, home built vaccines are being exported to other countries. And now we are at this stage of the pandemic, of the fight against pandemic, wherein we are enrolling more people, specifically the non-medical people with non-medical background, and they will be further taught skills, they will be further taught more on how to help the medical fraternity, and they will be part of the frontline workers. And this crash course, customized crash course, which has been launched by the Prime Minister, will have 6 important courses. And and within 2 to 3 months, the people who've enrolled for these courses, they will be stationed in the hospitals to help the medical staff, to help the doctors, further help the doctors, and that will give more manpower to the hospitals, which will help in the fight against the pandemic. And also, the Prime Minister specifically talked of the role which has been played by the Kaushal Vikas scheme, and how in today's times skill is a very important aspect of not only just the individual but the economy as well, and how it is taking forward the country in the fight against the pandemic, be it doctors, be it the frontline workers, and how they have been doing their bit from the last year, since the last year when the pandemic struck the country. Arun Sharma is joining us to talk more about it. Arun, when we talk of the Prime Minister's address, he specifically talked of the role skill is playing these days in the fight against the pandemic. And he said that skill, reskill and upskill is the mantra that will help take forward the economy, in the sense that it will further enrich the health infrastructure in these times of the pandemic.
Absolutely, Preeti. Had there been no initiative like Skill India Mission, the fight against COVID-19 would have been very much difficult for a country like India. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi clearly mentioned this point, that Skill India Mission has played a significant role because a lot of workforce, the pool of talent or the pool of skilled manpower was created in the healthcare sector as well. There are various aspects, there are various subsets as far as Skill India is concerned. Healthcare and skilled manpower related to healthcare sector is also a prominent subset of this Skill India Mission. Well, talking about this specific crash course, we know this fact that the top medical experts of our country have designed this crash course, keeping in mind the industry standards, that means the healthcare industry standards, and whatever the requirement is of today. So be it the home care, the basic care, advanced care, emergency care, and of course the sample collection care, or maybe the medical equipment care. In all these dimensions, primarily, these 1 lakh students or the youngsters will be trained. As the focus is completely on the fact that going forward, the skilled manpower can be made available in tier 2 town, tier 3 towns, these youngsters will play an important role. And we know this fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi specifically thanked the ASHA workers, Anganwadi workers also, who are playing a significant role in villages, in small towns, as far as vaccination drive is concerned, or maybe in providing the healthcare facilities or healthcare aid in villages and small towns and in tier 2 and tier 3 towns. So yes, all in all, the focus is as to how can skilled manpower can be upgraded, they can be reskilled, they can be provided with the skill as far as healthcare sector is concerned, and keeping in mind the current requirement of our country during the COVID pandemic time. So yes, in that aspect, it is going to be very much significant what Prime Minister Narendra Modi has highlighted today.
All right, Arun, the Prime Minister specifically also talked of the role of the ASHA workers and other medical professionals who are stationed in rural areas, and how they successfully imparted, health facilities, health services to the people in the rural areas. Added to that, he specifically talked of how the vaccination drive will be expanded from 21st of June, and how people above 18 years of age will be vaccinated free of cost by the central government. Talk more about it, and also how far will it further enhance the fight against the pandemic?
Well, so Preeti, the focus of the government is to achieve the target of vaccinating 1 crore people on a daily basis. So that's what the government is targeting. And the target is that by the end of this year, that means by November, by December, entire country should be vaccinated. So yes, the role of the ASHA workers, Anganwadi worker, specifically in the rural India, the rural areas, villages, is going to be very much prominent as far as providing the healthcare facilities, medical help and aid, and of course the vaccination aspect as well. Till now also we have seen that be it the polio vaccination under various initiatives of government, it could not have been successful without the ASHA workers and Anganwadi workers that have provided vaccination by going door to door and providing vaccination by reaching to each and every household in rural India. So now from 21st of June, we know this fact that the extended, or you can say expanded primarily vaccination drive will be started, whereby everybody who is above the age of 18 years of age will be getting vaccination, will be getting free vaccination from the central government side. You can say that. Till now, we know this fact that there were states which were procuring the vaccines, but now center will be procuring 75% of the total manufactured vaccines, and 25% will be procured from the hospitals, that means private hospitals. So now everybody, that means above the age of 18 years, everybody will be eligible for vaccination drive in the government setup, in the government hospitals, and center will be procuring all these vaccines. So now the focus of the government is that from current 25 to 30 lakh vaccination on a daily basis, how can it be increased to 1 crore vaccination on a daily basis? Because India is a population of close to 130 crore. Government wants to vaccinate close to 80 to 90 crore people by the end of this year. So with this aim in mind, government is targeting to vaccinate close to 1 crore people on daily basis, and that only we can achieve the target of vaccinating entire country, all the adults above the age of 18 years of age. So yes, in that context, the frontline workers will play an important role. The skilled manpower will be created. This pool of this talent or the skilled manpower will be created in next 3 months' time. So when these after this 3 months' time, when this skilled manpower of 1 lakh youngsters, when they'll be part of this talent pool or this pool of these medical professionals, they'll also be in a position to contribute as far as this vaccination drive is concerned. So on one side, fight against COVID is care. So how can these youngsters can provide the basic care facilities, home care facility, advanced care facilities, emergency care facilities, sample collection facilities, and of course, medical equipment handling facilities. How can they play an important role in all these aspects and categories? So on the other side, how can these youngsters can also push up or give a major push to the vaccination drive of our country as well? Prime Minister Narendra Modi, no doubt, has reiterated this fact that the frontline workers have played an important role. And today he has praised the ASHA workers, the Anganwadi workers of our country, because they are the backbone as far as vaccination drive in rural India is concerned. Because until and unless the ASHA work, yes.
Yes, so further emphasis will be laid from 21st of June on enhancing the vaccination drive across the country, because this has been repeatedly said that vaccine is the best weapon we can have against the pandemic, and also we need to keep following COVID appropriate behavior. Arun, from here we go across to Kamal Bora, who's joining us from Guwahati. Kamal, I see you surrounded by students. Let us know what has been the response of the students after hearing in Prime Minister. And even as these students, when they begin with the courses, let us know the enthusiasm. What are their expectations?
Definitely, Preeti. First of all, it's a very enthusiastic day for the whole student, for the whole candidates, whoever have participated in this program, because Narendra Modi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself, spoken to these students through virtually. So let's know from them directly how they are feeling right now, why they are interested to join this, the profession to do this course. मैं आपसे ये जानने की कोशिश करूँगा, आप ये कोर्स करने के लिए आए हैं, क्या सोच के आए हैं, क्या उम्मीदें हैं आपके मन में, थोड़ा बताइए हमको।
जी, मेरा मन में तो ज़्यादा ही उम्मीद लेके मैं इस कोर्स में ज्वाइन किया, क्योंकि अब जो ये पेंडेमिक सिचुएशन चल रहा है कोविड-19 का, तो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों को मदद करने के लिए हम जैसे मतलब हम ये बनना चाहते हैं जो कोविड-19 फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर, जो लोगों को मदद कर सकते हैं। इसीलिए हम ये सोच के प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो कोर्स हम लोगों को प्रदान किए, इसके लिए हम सब ने इसमें ज्वाइन किया, क्योंकि हम एक फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर बन के लोगों को मदद कर पाओगे। और ये जो कोर्स उन्होंने हम लोगों को प्रदान किया, ये सोच के उन्होंने भी प्रदान किया कि महामारी के समय में जितना लोग बीमार में पड़ेगा, उतना ही ज़्यादा लोग उनको लोगों को मदद करने के लिए उतना ही हेल्थ वर्कर भी चाहिए। इसलिए प्रधानमंत्री जी ने ये सोच के ही ये कोर्स हम लोगों को प्रदान किए, तो हम लोगों ने भी ये सोच के इस प्रकार मतलब उनको सहाय करने के लिए आगे आया।
जी बिल्कुल, as you have already heard from this young lady that whenever Prime Minister give a call to the nation, they always used to stand up with the Prime Minister, and we have seen here also this is happening right now. Right now, I am also going to join one of the official of a skill center. They are going to give the course to the candidates. So how they are planning, how many students they are going to train. So let's know from her directly. आप ये बताइए, ये जो पूरा कोर्स है किस तरीके से आप इम्प्लीमेंट करेंगे, कितने स्टूडेंट को आप लोग
एक्चुअली टोटल हम लोग के पास जो हम लोग का टारगेट है 40 स्टूडेंट को हम लोग को ट्रेन करना है फॉर 21 डेज मीन्स 21 मीन्स 20 करके हम लोग डिवाइड किया है बिकॉज वी हैव टू फॉलो द कोविड प्रोटोकॉल्स और आफ्टर द कंप्लीशन ऑफ द कोर्स सो वी विल लाइक प्लान टू प्लेस देम ऑल्सो वी कैन एटलीस्ट वी कैन हेल्प देम टू गेट प्लेस्ड एंड ऑल्सो वी कैन सर्टिफाई they will be certified after the
How you are feeling right now because Prime Minister has spoken to yourself directly and they have launched a program?
Yeah, it's a really a proud moment for us and I am very much thankful and we are really honored that our honorable Prime Minister of India that he has offered us such a course to our deserving students like so that they can serve for the nations, they can serve the people of our nation and help everyone in this pandemic situation.
Yes, Preeti, it's a really enthusiastic day. Already I have said before that, for everyone because Prime Minister himself spoken to them. So this is how, and this shows the way they have come up in the early morning. They were waiting for the day. So it shows their enthusiasm, Preeti.
All right, so the enthusiasm shows there, the optimism as well. Thank you so much, Kamal, for joining in with those reactions of the students who will be enrolling in this course. Thank you so much for joining in. So that was it in this edition of the news wherein we talked of and we heard the Prime Minister after he launched the crash course for frontline workers and how this will further give a fillip and further strengthen the fight against the pandemic. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.